It's Friday, it is the time to, well, collect your thoughts because it's the weekend, but find out what is going on in the world of Marvel Contest of Champions. Rigged crystals? Maybe. AI not exactly doing what it's told, updates and bugs, and where's Incursions? And I think what we'll do is kick off with that. So by the time this video comes out, which I record at about 10-11 PM UK time, the night before it goes out, Incursions is not in game. You can see that by looking on screen right now. There's no Incursions. Kabam did say that this will be back on the 7th of March at 10 AM PST time. That's something they announced. But it's not back, as many people indeed kind of like, were quick to point out. Now, yes, by the time this video comes out, it could be there. And if it is, fantastic. But it seems to be delayed. Don't know why. Kabam Jax even noticed this and said that they was looking into this as of 10 PM UK time of yesterday, Thursday. So yeah, don't really know what's going on there. Whether or not you want some 7-star shards, and yeah, it's not March 7th, it's March 7.5. So yeah, this may be this may indeed be back by now or not, but yeah, it seems to be a bit of a bug or an issue with this not being able to come back exactly on time. The black screen bug. That's the other thing we're going to be talking about. Well, we did talk about this, I think, on Wednesday's MCN, but there is more information to go over. Of course, yes. Well, there's not really. Look, a lot of us want to find out some answers to it. It isn't something that has happened to me, but it doesn't mean to say it's not happening to everyone else, because there are other people experiencing this particular bug, which is problematic. More so when it comes to content. Some people have had this in Magic Heist. Not great if you want to do those objectives and you're always seen as a black screen. Not great. Even further not great is when you're playing in different bits of content, like AQ, which requires you to be coordinated in your attack. And of course other bits of content as well, whether or not it's going to be doing event quests, arena, you name it. And collect that crystal right there, whoever that is. That's always scary. So was it Zabo 2A? Collect that crystal. Get a 4-hour crystal. Save it. You might find it to be something good. Yeah, so what's the update? Well, this one comes in on March 6th. So this was a little bit after I posted, I think, the MCN. I'll dive a little deeper into this issue. If anyone's experiencing this problem, please include screenshots. And of course, people did indeed do that one. Obviously, lots of devices. Mesmer problems, no Galaxy S8. Okay, the team is aware and is investigating. It seems to be isolated to specific devices. We'll update when they have more information. So that's the most recent update. Whether or not it's been fixed or will be fixed, fresh as of today. You'll probably see people having similar issues on this one. So yeah, Kabam are aware, probably getting it fixed, but look, the black screen bug seems to be very much affected too. Android devices, Samsung devices in particular. So a little bit further on with the dissection of it since Wednesday's MCN, and now we're at a point where look, it's Samsung devices in some sort of capacity, and we'll find out if Kabam are going to update this. Or at least kind of, I don't know, would they hot fix it or get a kind of different bug fix out? We'll have to see. But in any case, moving on. So something that I completely forgot to mention last week was, first of all, it's good to see Kabam Crashed is back in the office, because I know he was taking a bit of time away. But it was interesting, there's a few things he's answered against, which I think are really cool to kind of go off. One, and the first thing is something, as I said a week ago, well, I think that when people were looking at trying to get this last piece of King Groot, this is Planet X atmosphere from Alliance Wars. I think it gave a lot of people the heebie-jeebies in how to obtain such a thing, and of course was like, oh no, this is going to be painful. People have seen this, by the way, going to the trade-in side of things. Yeah, this is a piece that I really want to get. I'm going to work hard on Winter of Woe, the Gauntlet, and hopefully get it. But yeah, I really want to get that final piece, and I'm not sure the work that's going to be required in order to get it, because the content hasn't been revealed. Funnily enough, someone did actually post what was from the live stream back in December, I want to say. This might have been December. Or was it January? Saying in-game message, Paragon Gauntlet January, Community Creators Challenge, which, have we done that one? Yes, I've done that one. Yeah, because that was the Spidey one. Spidey one I did. You could do one and it's done. New challenge content that I want to say is no. New challenge content. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be something this month to get the piece. The reason I say that, it could be something today. Like there may be something for International Women's Day. Is it this month? Or I think it's Women's Month, wherever it is. There could be something dropping at some stage, which is like a challenge, and it could be there. But there's also more new challenge content. But I don't know if it's like one is referring to the Winter of Woe objective, one a Winter of Woe milestone, and the other one's referring to a new challenge in April. But in April would be the only time you'd be able to get the last piece, because you'd have to literally rush through that. Any case, whatever it is, however it is, it's not Alliance Wars, especially because Kabam Crash says the description is incorrect. Once the content is announced, you'll probably understand how this happened, but I can confirm the final piece will arrive in solo content that will not require you to play Alliance Wars, so this is yet to be announced. But yeah, that's at least a bit of good news if people are looking at it and going like, not quite sure about this. I don't know how I ended up missing out this, but I missed covering this one. But yeah, at least gives you an idea of how to get that land. Next up, let's do a little bit of coverage on AI. This month, I don't know like how people are feeling with AI. The reason being, it's meant to be this is when things have changed. Then we'll talk about what we've experienced, what we've seen, and of course, let me know in the comments, do you feel that AI has improved slightly? We'll look at what exactly that should be in a second, but it was interesting. White Mummy and Leaks put this these particular videos on X, formerly Twitter, where you can see the AI is just like, what's it doing? Like, it's just pausing that, and that's a boss there. That's Alliance Wars. Not Alliance Wars. That's Event Quest Boss 2. I want to say with Korg. But yeah, it's annoying when you're like, come at me, bro. Yeah, like what's going on there? And you got Meek there just flapping away like this. My arms are flailing wildly. Anyway, similar thing recently with kind of like what Leaks is putting. They did say, that's a bit loud, the AI has some sort of bottleneck in its code. So I don't know if that's completely like a legit dissection or kind of like description, sorry, of it. Not quite sure, but look, it's not particularly grand or not particularly great when you're kind of like who's going to move first, and should I move at you as soon as I attack, since I want my guard down? Are you gonna like smack me in the face? There we go. Just as soon as it's kind of like, just let my guard down for a moment, it's then comboed into oblivion. Not particularly nice. So yeah, as a lot of you know, that Kabam did announce that they said in January we discovered a knock-on effect changing the behavior of defenders right at the start of a fight. That was the result of a critical fix, how data loaded into fights. This then cascaded into them feeling more passive in general. So defenders, we cannot undo this fix to the loading process, but have a fix ready for March release. We'll continue to monitor this and tune it, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. Also saying that on a brighter note, we'd like to share that we've actively worked a few fixes in particular in coming months. We'll be testing changes to make defenders more willing to throw special attacks, particularly when facing characters with deeper dodge animations such as Quicksilver or basically anyone with an XL body type. There's also more to that, but I don't know, like put it in the comment section. How do you feel about the AI since this update? Have you noticed anything? Is there anything there? Is there nothing there? Is it still something you're kind of like, look, you hope for the best for the future? And of course, same thing that, I try and be as hopeful as possible for the future of MCOC. I'd like to see this game have at least 10 more years before it starts, declining in player base. I know that sounds a bit weird to say like that, but it's just a case of like, look, that'd be 20 years playing the same game, and when you think about it that way, you just go, what am I doing? What am I doing? Existential crisis time, my friends. But hey, it's a Friday. It's got that Friday feeling. I'm in a good mood. So anyway, How do you feel about the AI in game? And then we're going to end the MCN this Friday with a bit of a talk about are crystals rigged? Question mark. And that is a question mark. It's not a case of kind of like this is the interesting thread, by the way. You know, we'll kind of we'll dissect this a bit and have a look at it. So Valros started a thread saying, "I know crystals are not rigged, but it's so hard not to think this way when." I think we've all been there where we've been doing features and picked up multiple editions of certain champions. Like I remember, you know, and if you've watched the videos in the past, when Fists comes onto the channel to open up crystals, there's either sometimes where it's like you're getting a lot of the same champion and you've pushed past max signature of these champions, and it's like, oh great, I got max signature crystals. Fantastic, but none of the features that I'd like to get are there. I got pretty fortunate, I would say, with the 17 that I opened to get what I got, but I understand there are people out there like Valros who says you pull 5 times 6-star featured crystals and you get 4 of these out of 5. The 5th and equally odd and useless champion, Green Goblin. Really, really weird level of being unlucky. I don't see anything malice in this. I don't know why people are disagreeing, but it's like, it's just, I think this is when things are very unfortunate, and definitely, as he says, being unlucky with this. Slick says, I opened 60 and didn't get either of the 2 champs I was looking for. The RNG gods are not smiling down upon me. I think we all take it with good graces and you know, good humor when it comes to RNG in this game. Of course, rig being a strong word, agree that PRNG seems in many instances to tilt against us. Some of that is our own cognitive bias. Some of it is our own distorted sense of what random means. And some of it, I think, is the way that games PRNG sometimes seems to produce clumpy outcomes. I've wondered often over the past decade of this game about all of this. I don't believe anything is purposely meant to confound us, but I'm also a believer there's some much code overwritten on code that is difficult for anyone to know how things actually work sometimes. Look, you can look at this in the way that, remember EA? EA got in a lot of trouble about loot boxes and stuff like that. You look at, what is it, the weapon scene with CSGO and kind of like how stuff's sorted out with that. And the very worst situations where you've seen, it's really weird when you kind of like look back at, what is he called? Tom Syndicate. Do you remember that? Like he's still got a career out of the fact that he earned millions and millions of dollars scamming people on some things. And there's other things as well. I mean, look at the out. There's so many other things with the crypto scene. Look, everyone's trying to get like a buck or two, aren't they, or more, millions of bucks. But in any case, I digress on stuff. It's interesting, isn't it? I think it's interesting as well when Kabam, you know, shed some light. We've got Kabam crashed in a minute. Kabam Jack says though, let's get ahead of this, or kind of behind this, since we're talking about many times before. This will not be a topic on a future live stream because it will be incredibly short and likely it wouldn't move the needle in any way. We'd simply say the truth. RNG is random. I'm convinced there isn't any evidence we can provide you all that make everyone nod in agreement, and we know this is because we've tried. We bring in DNA to show this massive spreadsheets and showcase how, with a large enough sample size, RNG proves to be RNG. I mean, this is the thing. This is one of the reasons that I'm a non-spender in the game. It's not because of RNG, but like you can see, if RNG was something that was biased, and maybe people would say, "Wow, you're a content creator. Kabam would, you know, favor you." I don't give them any money. They don't earn anything from me. They've not earned anything from Brian Gran, you know, over the time that he's played the game. So, well, apart from, I think he didn't he have a spending account. In any case, it's not to the same levels as other people that spent exponential amounts of money, like Pep 1000. If anybody remember Pep 1000, used to spend exponential amounts of money. The same thing with Cowell. Spending doesn't get you anywhere with that. And here's the thing: like Cowell doesn't spend on the game. Everything that he bought in this game about 3 years ago, whatever it is now worthless. And people would say, no, it's not worthless. There's 7 stars in game. You're spending to get 6 stars. There's kind of, and like, you know, getting Kangs. Like, look, it's different. It's weird. But, and that was the gifting crystals as well. Yeah, while I'm not familiar with the actual execution of independent audit, I can say with confidence that going and through what is likely a costly process of appease a handful of stubborn complaints on the forums is probably not a great use of company time / money. Additionally, I am also confident that this process still wouldn't convince the tin hat theorist. That's true. And there's evidence from my party, plenty of it. It just seems some people refuse to accept it. It's less our word against theirs and more our word and data and code and evidence versus their word. I mean, yeah, look, here's the thing. Netmarble, Kabam would have been in hot water with authorities if they indeed kind of like were doing malpractice. But companies do try and bend around the these things. You know, I've seen that before. With loot boxes, people have been very, very kind of like cagey with that. Kabam Crash, that's interesting. Says, and this is interesting to note. Explain how, in answer to explain how I have opened 24 X Magica Paragon crystals bought with money from store. Oh, why would you? That's a joke. The Daily Valiant Specials crystal from store and 10 of the new Serpent Paragon crystals units in the past 24 hours, and not even a single one did I get so much as a 6-star. The odds of this is happening are roughly 1 in 25, so I guess you need to ask yourself, do you think there are more or less than 25 people who play MCOC? And that is your answer for not only how it could happen, but why it almost certainly happened. Okay, fine. I mean, look, if you got a problem with spending, then of course that's the thing. I don't think speculation will ever go away on the subject after someone found that weighted RNG patent for Kabam or Netmarble, but it is what it is. It's true. That's the thing. As I said, like as much as I'm saying like I'm backing what Kabam say, there's also the fact that, you know, there's stuff maybe going on in the background, patents for companies doing stuff in a way that kind of bends the kind of law side of things, or what looks fair on paper but technically isn't ethically the same. Look, we could get into a whole big discussion about it, but hey, look, take it as it is. If you're spending in game and getting butthurt by your results of what you're getting, then you're going to have to make a decision. Am I going to spend any further or take the rough with the smooth and make a decision that I did, where I made a decision 2 and a bit years ago to stop spending in game, mainly because these RNG factors are sometimes not fair, sometimes Kabam don't compensate fairly in certain areas, and other type of elements. But in any case, what are your thoughts on the matter? Put it in the comment section down below about RNG. Check out some other content located on the screen, and I'll catch you in the next video, whatever that's going to be about. Bye!